Episode 631.
Just as I thought.
Chen Guo slammed the table and exclaimed the moment she heard Ye Shu mention scavenging. She noticed that after Ye Shu had taken down both guild leaders, she immediately ordered Lord Grimm to slip out of the circle. The Jia Guild wasn't faring much better either, and it was then that she realized Ye Shu's intentions weren't about helping any guild. As for Ye Shu's intentions, Chen Guo had already formed a guess, and he was about to confirm it for her.
Scavenging to this level, you're something else.
Of course you have to work hard at scavenging too.
Chen Guo didn't know how to evaluate it. He said he was here to scavenge, and he was really serious about scavenging, and he did it at an unprecedentedly high level. Truly a textbook worth studying. Even when it comes to scavenging, the guy does it at a god-tier level. Meng Tiancheng, who already knew the truth, didn't impulsively make a move against Lord Grimm right away. First, he didn't think he could beat Lord Grimm. The guy had crushed level 70 players to complete his challenge and enter the heavenly domain. Second, Meng Tiancheng was still rationally weighing the pros and cons. Killing Lord Grimm right now would only vent his frustration, but it wouldn't help avoid losses at all. What really gave Meng Tiancheng a headache was that he had completely lost control of the situation. Lord Grimm's string of moves had everyone convinced he was one of their own. Not just the guilds from Herb Garden and Blue Brook, but even their own Jia dynasty members. This bastard's vicious scheming wasn't something you could explain in just a few words. By the time he could explain it clearly, most of the people on this field would probably be dead. Meng Tiancheng hadn't forgotten either. They came for the boss, but at this rate, what chance did they have left to actually kill it? Now, clashing here with the Blue Creek Pavilion and Bellflower Hall, both already in complete chaos, was a pointless move. It would only benefit the scavengers eyeing them like hawks.
Fall back.
After a moment of thought, Meng Tiancheng issued the order to the team. The players of Jia Dynasty were taken aback. Retreat. More than a few of them wore looks of confusion.
The way things are now, there's no way we can take down the boss.
Meng Tiancheng didn't even bother mentioning the scavenger schemes. He simply reminded everyone with one question: what was their original purpose in coming here? The group snapped back to reality, realizing this fight was utterly pointless. The Jia Dynasty players were ready to withdraw from the battle, but the Blue Brook Guild and the Herb Hall were still caught up in their impulsive fury. Seeing the Jia Dynasty pulling back, they took it as a sign they were winning and pressed the attack even harder. Meng Tiancheng was thoroughly frustrated. This retreat had only given the enemy a chance to pursue. The Blue Brook Guild and the Herbal Hall were clearly lacking a rational mind right now. Without a team commander calling the shots, the chaos eventually dragged the Jia Dynasty down with them. Meng Tiancheng hadn't forgotten about Lord Grimm. He'd been scheming, thinking that if he could somehow catch Lord Grimm off guard in this chaos and shove him into the enemy's ranks, he could make that guy taste the same fate as Ai Shi and Dawn Frost. But as his gaze swept across the scene, he realized Lord Grimm was a crafty one. Just moments ago, he'd been lounging around watching the show, but the second the situation shifted, he was already on the move, leaving no opening for such a trick.
How is it? How is it?
Meanwhile, in the team channel, Angshang Shuing and the others were growing anxious. Listening to the deafening shouts and battle cries outside, their minds churned with 100 tangled thoughts. They had only just met Ye Shu. How much trust could they really have? Listening to the commotion outside, they couldn't help but wonder if Ye Shu was deliberately keeping them in the dark while he went on a rampage out there first.
You should be careful when you come out of that hole.
Ye Shu replied.
Roger.
Dark Fragrance and the others had been itching to go for a while now, and they lined up to squeeze through the hole one by one. Dark Fragrance in sparse shadows was the first to crawl out. The moment his perspective shifted, he saw it. Chaos everywhere outside. His heart instantly bloomed with joy. As a seasoned scavenger, Angshang Shuying quickly spotted a valuable piece of gear lying on the ground, and he rushed over without hesitation. At the same time, a gray figure shot down from the rooftop on the other side. Dark Fragrance and Sparse Shadow took one look at the direction the gray figure was falling and immediately knew this person had the same intention. He was after the equipment on the ground too. As a professional scavenger, this wasn't the first time he'd seen a situation like this. Dark Fragrance and Sparse Shadow executed a quick triple slash, cleaving a path with his sword as he charged forward, actually outpacing that gray blur by a hair. And Shang Shuying felt a surge of pride and was about to click on the equipment, when suddenly several warnings flashed in the team channel. Startled, he saw the screen jolt and his character was sent flying sideways. Dark Fragrance Shadow quickly twisted his view back to see how the other player had knocked him flying. He didn't know. He only saw that gray figure land on the ground, calmly pocket the piece of equipment.
Holy crap.
Dark Fragrance and shadowy figure was furious, but then he saw the name floating above the figure in drab gear, Deception.
It's deception.
Someone in the team channel called out.
You know each other.
Chen Guo had also crawled out of the cave by now. Compared to these professional scavengers, Chen Guo seemed a bit more reserved. She didn't zero in on the loot the moment she came out of the cave like Shang Shuying did. Shen Guo, the last one out, barely caught a glimpse of Shang Shuying getting knocked back by someone. At first, she didn't realize what was so special about this person. Only then did she realize that above his head there was no guild title, just his name. That meant he definitely wasn't a member of any of the 3 major guilds.
You've never heard of him? He's one ruthless scavenger.
Someone in the squad gave Chen Guo a brief rundown. It was clear he was unfamiliar with the scavenging trade and had never had any interest in it. Judging by how these people talked, this guy was a big name among the scavengers.
How ruthless.
Chen Guo was still asking when Deception suddenly burst forward again. With a flick of his wrist, his Rindao slashed out, and a spray of blood arced through the air as another player crumpled to the ground. Something seemed to drop from the fallen player, but before anyone could get a clear look, Deception had already scooped it up and stuffed it into his own bag.